Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Criticism leveled at Diogo Dalot and Pep Guardiola's riposte to the stinging rebuke of Sesko. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Diogo Dalot under fire after Forest horror show. Manchester United had to settle for a single point after a desperately disappointing draw with Nottingham Forest in the Premier League on Saturday. Diogo Dalot, in particular, endured an absolute shocker of an evening, with Forest repeatedly exploiting his flank to sling in crosses that ultimately turned the match completely on its head. The Portuguese fullback was miles off the pace when the ball bobbled down in the 6-yard box, giving Nicolo Savona the vital split-second he needed to tuck it past Sen Lamens. Despite lining up at left wing-back, he managed a paltry single pass into the final third. He couldn't complete a solitary cross, and to top it all off, he gifted possession away a staggering 12 times. Manager Ruben Amorim was visibly seething on the touchline, engaged in multiple, animated chats with the 26-year-old about his dreadful positioning. Unsurprisingly, the faithful are now crying out for Amorim to drop the Portugal international and unleash Luke Shaw in the left wing-back berth. Shaw was absolutely outstanding against Forest, earning a very solid 7/10 in our post-match ratings. He won a remarkable 9 duels and put in 2 crunching tackles. He also managed 3 crucial blocks, including a magnificent, goal-saving effort to deny Morgan Gibbs-White from point-blank range. Crucially, Shaw was constantly getting tight to his marker, displaying the kind of aggression and awareness that has been sorely lacking from the side earlier in the season. Pep Guardiola's take on the backlash against Benjamin Sesko. The performance of Manchester United striker Benjamin Sesko has come under intense scrutiny following the match against Nottingham Forest, prompting a barrage of criticism from pundits and former players alike. The Slovenian forward has been described as struggling, with his display on the day deemed well below par, despite having previously shown signs of revival with promising goals and assists. One of the most vociferous voices responding to Sesko's outing was Manchester United legend Gary Neville. Neville openly admitted that he remains deeply skeptical about Sesko's ability and quality, given the hefty price tag attached to his acquisition. In his view, the player lags far behind United's other forward-line signings, Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, and falls miles short of the lofty expectations placed upon him. Neville also highlighted the awkwardness and lack of composure Sesko displayed. He noted that the striker had several decent opportunities in the first half when balls were played over the top by his teammates, yet his first touch was invariably poor and the ball frequently escaped his control. For Neville, with a transfer fee of €76.5 million, albeit for a young player with considerable potential, the public and the club are entitled to demand far more convincing performances from the outset. Despite the criticism, Sesko had previously demonstrated significant progress with goals and assists. However, this positive momentum has stalled, and the backlash has intensified, even emanating from Newcastle United legend Alan Shearer, who has publicly stated that he is not particularly impressed with the Red Devils' summer recruit. Shearer specifically predicted that Sesko would prove the sort of player who frustrates supporters owing to his likely inconsistency. He conceded that Sesko is a decent player, but insisted that the forward has yet to reach the elite category and cautioned the public against becoming overly excited about his long-term prospects. This perspective suggests that expectations for Sesko are deemed excessively high for a player of his age. When asked for his thoughts on Sesko's situation, Shearer drew parallels with another striker, Viktor Gyökeres. He argued that both clubs had shelled out astronomical sums, almost certainly driven by the selling club's demands, which inflated the fees. He reiterated that Sesko is a good player but not a great one, and that it is only natural for his performances to disappoint from time to time and fall short of his price tag. Shearer concluded that, given the valuation attached to the player, the public will invariably judge Sesko by his transfer fee whether fair or not, and this is why he advised tempering expectations for the Slovenian. Notwithstanding these harsh assessments, Sesko's display against Forest must be acknowledged as disappointing and lacking the desired impact. Similar critical analysis came from former Republic of Ireland goalkeeper Shay Given, who expressed a desire to see more substantial contributions from Sesko. Given observed that the striker has been a touch sluggish around the penalty area, indicating a lack of sharpness and incisiveness in the final third. He added that if Sesko could bring greater potency to the attack and refine his hold-up play as a central striker, manager Ruben Amorim would be satisfied, particularly as teammates such as Mbeumo appear razor-sharp and Cunha is forging effective partnerships. In response to the torrent of criticism leveled at Sesko after his underwhelming performance, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola offered a sympathetic defense. Following his side's victory over Bournemouth, Guardiola was quizzed on his view of the young striker's form. Guardiola asserted that he regards Sesko as a highly valuable asset for Manchester United. Guardiola explained that the player is still very young and therefore requires an extended period of adaptation to become a truly effective Premier League centre-forward. He also emphasized that the team as a whole must adjust to Sesko's style of play and discover the best ways to create chances for him. In his estimation, Sesko's performances thus far have not been poor, but he fully understands that criticism is inevitable when you play for a club under such intense media scrutiny and with sky-high demands. Statistically, Sesko recorded the lowest rating among United's starting 11 in Saturday's fixture, underscoring his considerable difficulties on the pitch. He managed 3 shots, none of which were on target, lost possession 6 times, and failed to win a single aerial duel, reflecting his minimal dominance. Barcelona and United deal concerning Marcus Rashford's future. Marcus Rashford is reportedly on the brink of making his dream move to Barcelona permanent. The prolific striker, who is on loan at the Catalan club from Manchester United, is currently in negotiations over a long-term contract at Camp Nou. After a positive spell in La Liga, the Spanish giants are determined to secure the 28-year-old services, viewing him as a central figure in their future plans. Rashford's situation at his boyhood club became untenable following the arrival of Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese manager, who took the helm at Old Trafford, made it clear that the striker no longer featured in his first-team plans, dropping him unceremoniously from the squad back in December of last year and effectively closing the door on his career at Carrington. Following that decision, the England international spent a 6-month loan spell with Aston Villa before finally sealing what he had always considered a major step in his career, a move to Barcelona. He joined the Catalans last summer on a loan deal which included a pre-agreed obligation to buy clause, set at a relatively modest £28 million. Since moving to Spain, Rashford has thrived. The forward has enjoyed a strong start to the current campaign, quickly adapting to life in La Liga. His form has convinced the Barcelona hierarchy that activating the purchase clause is a matter of priority, cementing his position at the club for the foreseeable future. Moreover, the striker has already won over his new manager, Hansi Flick. The German coach is reportedly a great admirer of Rashford's unique playing style, particularly his effectiveness and flair when operating on the wings. This managerial endorsement further solidifies the club's commitment to signing him permanently. The Barcelona board considers the £28 million price tag for a player of Rashford's caliber to be a genuine bargain. They also view the acquisition as a shrewd financial move, anticipating that they would be able to register a significant capital gain if they ever decide to sell the sensational star in the future, should a Premier League club or one of the wealthy Saudi Arabian outfits come calling. The two parties are currently thrashing out the details of a new, long-term contract which is expected to run until June 2030. However, to finalize the deal, it is understood that Rashford must agree to yet another pay cut, showing his commitment to the Spanish project and helping to navigate the club's well-documented financial constraints. From Manchester United's perspective, while some supporters will mourn the departure of their academy's biggest star of the last decade, the sale presents a significant financial opportunity. As an academy product, his entire sale price will constitute pure capital gain. This approach means that the club's profit margin on the transaction will be maximized, providing immediate liquidity for the new management. This substantial injection of cash will provide a major financial boost for the club, enabling Ineos to invest the sum directly into the squad on new arrivals. In the reign of Ruben Amorim, Rashford's permanent departure is viewed by many as an inevitable, albeit sad, scenario. Ultimately, the deal appears to be a commercially sound decision that benefits the club's restructuring efforts under the new regime. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.